It is early morning on the WAMA site, adjacent to the spectacular Grampians National Park and close to the tourism township of Halls Gap in the Northern Grampians, Gariwerd ranges of Victoria. It is here that WAMA will be built, comprising the main wildlife art gallery and interconnected educational galleries, which will be surrounded by native gardens and wetlands. Well, this preliminary site plan gives you some idea of the scale of this project and the nature of what's to be developed. Made up of three areas: a protected land area, there's the open grass area, which is where the main buildings will be constructed, and the wetlands area. It is the job of local botanical expert and horticultural specialist Neil Marriott to lead the site development team. He has lived in the region for most of his life, and with a team of volunteers has begun the task of preparing the site for the ambitious WAMA development.
There are three sections on the property, and they're legally separate entities. The covenanted area is permanently protected with a conservation covenant with Trust for Nature, which permanently protects the conservation, the flora and fauna values of that area. It's a really valuable area of Grampians heathy woodland. And then we've got a beautiful big wetland area out to our left here, which has got a spectacular area of open marshland and wetland. And behind me is the area of undeveloped land, which is where all the works and buildings and the botanic gardens will be established.
Neil was formerly Regional Manager of Trust for Nature. In this role, he was instrumental in securing covenant agreements to protect native vegetation on private land around the Grampians. This section of remnant Grampians healthy woodland forms part of the WAMA site and is fully protected. With his wife Wendy, who is also a natural resource manager, the project team has begun planting more Indigenous Grampian species to enhance the site.
Grampians historically used to have extensive wetlands at the foot of the ranges, but with white man coming into the area, most of the wetlands were drained, and because it was better soil and it was good pasture, so the wetlands were drained, and so they were turned to agriculture. This is a rare example of an area that was originally wetland, then it was put back to pasture, and now it's been restored as natural wetland again, so it's just priceless.
Most of the site will be enclosed by a vermin-proof fence that will provide a safe haven for rare Indigenous birds and animals. Neil is optimistic that eventually endangered species could be saved.
Once the area is fenced so that there aren't any vermin accessing the site, we are sure that the wildlife will increase naturally, but we've also working with Parks Victoria and conservation bodies around the region, where we would like to reintroduce southern brown bandicoots and potoroos and things like that into the area, because they used to be here. So this will be really exciting to be able to have them in the bushland areas back on this WAMA site.
Neil Mucumber is a keen ornithologist who is working with Neil Marriott to record the species found on the site. He has recorded more than 100 bird species so far, some of them rare and endangered. He is confident that as the site is established, other species will return.
In the whole Grampians would be about 210 species. So when we get more plantings done, if we get this with deeper water and still have areas that will drop back, ephemeral areas, then we'll get a lot more species. I think it's going to be a great project for the area.
I'm quite convinced that it's going to become one of the great Australian native botanic gardens right across the country.